You've tried to heal by fixing, forcing, escaping. But what if nothing's broken? This audiobook isn't another self-help illusion. It's a remembrance. A journey back to the energy, silence, and intelligence that created you. Every word reprograms your body to trust again. Every breath aligns you with the rhythm of life. Stop searching for healing. Start becoming it. If you're ready to rise above the noise, like the video. It tells YouTube you're choosing awareness over autopilot. Subscribe now, and don't miss the next chapter in your evolution. And remember, the deepest transformation belongs to those who stay until the very end. Introduction. The remembering. You were never broken. You were only taught to forget your wholeness. Beneath every ache, every sleepless night, a deeper intelligence waits, silent, steady, eternal. There is a medicine no hand can manufacture, a force older than time, alive in the breath moving through you now. This is the medicine beyond all cures, the remembrance of your own light. The ancients knew what science now rediscovers, that thought shapes matter, emotion directs energy, and belief instructs the cells. Illness is not betrayal, but communication. The body does not rebel, it reveals. Every pain is language, a message asking to be understood. Energy ignored becomes noise. Energy honored becomes harmony. Your cells are instruments in a grand symphony. When fear tightens, dissonance appears. When love expands, coherence returns. Healing begins not when you silence the noise, but when you remember the melody beneath it. Medicine can adjust the body, but only consciousness can retune the song. You were told that healing comes from bottles, hands, or machines. But the true temple of medicine is light. The ancients healed through sound, vibration, and silence. The still note where creation listens back. They understood that harmony is not taught. It is remembered. Pause. Breathe slowly. Each inhale draws in the intelligence of the cosmos. Each exhale releases the weight of forgetting. You are reintroducing your cells to their original frequency, peace. Healing is not movement forward. It is a return inward, to the field where energy becomes matter, and the soul remembers itself. The sages said, "The soul does not heal by adding, but by unveiling." Every truth you remember dissolves a layer of separation until only light remains. You are not here to be fixed. You are here to remember what has never been lost. Welcome to the remembering, where healing no longer comes to you, but through you, where the body becomes instrument and the soul becomes sound. And it begins now. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Wisdom of Healing. Before hospitals, before microscopes, before the world was measured in data and digits, healing was an act of harmony. Humanity once knelt beside the earth and listened to the pulse beneath the soil. We knew that the same rhythm beat within us. Every breeze carried information, every flame held language, every star mirrored the pattern of our breath. The people of old did not chase cures. They remembered balance. In those forgotten centuries, illness was not seen as a flaw, but as a teacher. Villagers gathered around fires, not for warmth alone, but for resonance. The chant of their voices aligned with the heartbeat of the land. Smoke rose like prayer, carrying intention into the invisible layers of air. They understood what we now call vibration medicine. Every drumbeat synchronized nervous systems. Every melody tuned emotion into coherence. They called it spirit. Today, we call it frequency. Imagine yourself in such a temple, walls carved in spirals and suns instead of organs and charts. No bright lights, no antiseptic hum, only the breath of stone and the echo of sacred tone. The healer stands not with tools, but with silence. Around you, symbols radiate in geometry, circles for cycles, triangles for transformation, spirals for evolution. They are not decorations. They are codes that remind your cells of their original order. When you enter this space, you are not asked, "What hurts?" You are asked, "Where have you forgotten your song?" Because the body follows the song of the spirit. When your thoughts wander from truth, the body whispers with fatigue. When your emotions drown in grief, the body echoes with pain. But when you remember harmony, when you vibrate with gratitude, compassion, and clarity, the body rejoins the music of the cosmos. Modern science, in its precision, has rediscovered fragments of this lost knowing. It speaks now of circadian rhythms, resonance frequencies, and coherence fields. Photons, the smallest particles of light, are emitted from every cell of your body, forming a luminous web of communication. Your organs do not just function, they converse in light. When those lights flicker in unity, health flourishes. When they fall out of sync, disease begins its whisper. The ancients never doubted this. They watched fevers rise and fall with the moon, births align with the tides, and healing accelerate under morning sun. They mapped the cosmos not as distant sky, but as mirror of their inner world. As above, so below, they said. As within, so without. You may have forgotten their words, but the memory remains in your DNA. Every strand of your genetic code hums with the rhythm of your ancestors' chants. Their wisdom flows in your blood, waiting for you to awaken it. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine sitting in that temple once more. The air is heavy with incense. The sound of a drum echoes like thunder through your chest. The healer raises no scalpel, only a single word. Remember. The vibration of that word moves through your body, stirring something ancient inside you. You are reminded that healing is not a science to learn. It is a rhythm to remember. Your body was designed to repair itself. Your soul designed to guide it. But both require your participation. Healing cannot find you when you are scattered in fear and noise. It comes when you align thought, emotion, breath, intention into one coherent field. This is not mysticism. This is energy physics written in the language of love. Perhaps you have felt it before. The instant calm when someone speaks kindly. The sudden peace when you stand near the ocean. The invisible comfort of moonlight through your window. These are reminders that life responds to resonance. The world is tuning itself to you as much as you are tuning to it. Healing is not invention. It is reunion. Say softly to yourself, "I remember the medicine within." Let the words hum in your chest like a low, steady drum. Each repetition sends waves through your nervous system, shifting you from survival into harmony. This is the first act of restoration, the remembering. When you say those words, you reclaim authorship over your own body. You become not a patient, but a participant in the divine conversation between energy and form. You were never only flesh. You are frequency. You are the spark, disguised as matter. The rhythm wearing skin, the echo of stars, learning to breathe. And when you remember this, healing is no longer a destination. It is your natural state, quietly waiting for you to listen again. Chapter 2. The Body as Messenger. Every signal your body gives is sacred language. A headache is not random static. Fatigue is not failure. Pain is not punishment. These are the words your deeper self speaks when it cannot reach you through thought. You are not being betrayed by your body. You are being spoken to by it. Every ache is a syllable in the dialogue between the visible and the unseen. The question is not, how do I silence this? But what is it trying to tell me? The ancients understood this better than any textbook ever could. When a fever came, they didn't ask how to fight it. They asked what fire within was asking to be released. When a cough lingered, they didn't count doses. They asked, what sorrow is trapped in the breath? To them, the body was not battlefield. It was oracle. And to listen was to heal. Today, we have forgotten that listening. We numb, suppress, distract. We turn the volume of life so loud that the whisper of wisdom is drowned. But energy that is ignored becomes tension. Tension becomes imbalance. Imbalance becomes illness. This is the sacred chain of communication. Pain is the body's highest form of honesty. When you meet it with presence instead of fear, it transforms from tormentor to teacher. Modern science now mirrors this ancient truth. Studies of psychosomatic medicine show that emotions sculpt physiology. Chronic anger inflames tissue. Long-held guilt alters chemistry. Grief changes the rhythm of the heart itself. The nervous system does not separate memory from body. It is the body. Every cell carries the memory of your response to life. Trauma unhealed becomes tension stored, and that tension whispers through skin, joints, and pulse. So what happens when you begin to listen? The chemistry changes. Stress hormones lower. The immune system wakes up. Neural pathways realign around safety instead of fear. Listening is not metaphorical. It is biological alchemy. Try this now. Place your hand where it aches most, the chest, the head, the stomach. Don't demand that it stop hurting. Just whisper, I'm listening. Then wait. Breathe slowly, without agenda. Notice if images rise, memories stir, or emotions flutter at the edge of awareness. This is the body speaking. Its voice may come as warmth, trembling, or even tears. Do not rush to interpret. Presence itself is translation. You may feel resistance, a reflex to turn away. That is the old programming of fear, the training that says healing equals control. But true healing is collaboration. Your body has waited years for your attention. Give it now, and you will feel the armor begin to melt. In spiritual science, this is called biofeedback of consciousness, the loop where awareness reorganizes matter. When you give compassionate attention to any part of the body, that region's electromagnetic field becomes coherent. Coherence allows energy to flow again. Flow is health. Remember, every illness carries intelligence. Fatigue might be your soul pulling the brakes before collapse. Anxiety could be unexpressed creativity begging to move. Skin irritation might signal boundaries crossed too often. None of these are accidents. They are messages disguised as discomfort. If you ignore them, the message repeats louder. But if you listen, it softens. Pain quiets when its story is heard. The messenger need not shout once the letter is read. Say gently now, I will listen to my body without fear. Let the vibration of the phrase fill your lungs. Feel how your chest loosens as you say it. The body trusts love faster than logic. When you speak kindness into yourself, the nervous system translates it as safety, and safety is the soil where healing grows. You are not a collection of organs. You are an orchestra of frequencies, breath, heartbeat, thought, emotion, all conducting the same symphony of existence. When one instrument falters, the others respond. The remedy is not exile, it is harmony. Every signal, even pain, is your body's way of calling you home. And when you finally answer, not with resistance but with reverence, healing begins in that very breath. Listen again. The messenger is still speaking, This time, it speaks in the language of renewal. Chapter 3. Energy Beyond Flesh. You are not confined to skin and bone. Around you flows a luminous river, invisible, ancient, alive. It moves through every breath, thought, and emotion you create. This current is not poetry. It is physics. Modern instruments can now measure the electromagnetic field that expands meters beyond your body, pulsing with information. Mystics once called it aura, chi, prana, life force. But the name matters less than the truth it carries. You are energy before you are form. Every organ vibrates at a unique frequency. Every cell hums like a note in the symphony of your being. When that symphony is in tune, you feel harmony, clarity, vitality. When it falls out of rhythm, through stress, grief, or fear, the dissonance becomes disease. What medicine often treats as chemical imbalance is first an energetic misalignment. The physical is only the echo of the unseen. Close your eyes. Picture a golden spiral rising through your spine, spinning softly with light. With each inhale, it glows brighter. With each exhale, it expands beyond your skin. You may feel tingling, warmth, or subtle movement. That is your nervous system responding to intention. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and experience. Thought is instruction. Energy obeys. Visualization, when felt deeply, is not fantasy, but activation. Ancient masters taught this through breath. Yogis inhaled sunlight through the nostrils and exhaled shadows through the mouth. Egyptian priests drew cosmic force through sacred geometry. Taoist healers guided qi along meridians like rivers, returning to the sea. Every culture, though separated by oceans and eras, arrived at the same truth. Where energy flows, life cannot stagnate. Science, too, has begun to glimpse this invisible architecture. The heart emits a magnetic field far stronger than the brain, syncing with others nearby. Brain waves can entrain, heartbeat rhythms can align. In laboratories, photons emitted from one body can influence another, even when separated by distance. The frontier of healing is not the pill. It is coherence, resonance, and field interaction. Think of moments you have felt drained after entering a heavy room, or suddenly uplifted in sunlight or laughter. Those shifts were not moods. They were frequency exchanges. You are a tuning fork, constantly resonating with the energy of your environment. Every person, every thought, every space tunes you slightly higher or lower. Awareness allows you to choose which frequencies you amplify. Guard your energy the way you guard your breath. Not from fear, but from reverence. Choose environments, people, and thoughts that harmonize with your truth. When you hold steady in your own frequency, compassion, peace, purpose, the chaos of others cannot invade. Instead, your calm becomes the stronger field. This is energetic sovereignty, the art of influencing reality through coherence. Try this now. Breathe in through your nose, slowly, imagining golden light entering the crown of your head. Let it move through your heart, expanding like sunrise within your chest. Exhale through your mouth, releasing any shadow, any static, any borrowed heaviness. With each cycle, your field brightens. You can almost hear the hum, that ancient tone beneath the silence, the sound of your energy remembering its rhythm. Sometimes this process will stir emotion or even tears. Do not resist them. They are signs that stagnation is leaving, that the current is free again. Energy, once acknowledged, always seeks movement. And movement is medicine. Every thought is a frequency broadcast. Every belief, a wavelength sent into the quantum field. The universe does not answer words. It answers vibration. What you feel consistently becomes what you experience physically. This is not superstition. It is quantum biology, where observation collapses possibility into form. Your life, your health, your reality, all are mirrors reflecting your dominant resonance. Say softly, I am more than flesh. I am field. Feel how the body warms as you speak. Every repetition strengthens coherence between thought and energy. With time, this becomes your natural state. Presence without effort, light without condition. Remember this truth. You are not inside the body. The body is inside you, within your vast luminous field. The more you care for that field through breath, thought, and awareness, the more matter reorganizes around harmony. Muscles ease, cells regenerate, circumstances shift. Healing becomes not something that happens to you, but something that happens through you. You are a river of light, clothed in temporary form. And when you remember your current, even darkness begins to glow. Chapter 4. The Soul's Blueprint. Beneath the surface of your DNA lies a deeper code, not written in molecules, but in memory and intention. Long before your first breath, the soul mapped the architecture of your becoming. This blueprint is not punishment or fate. It is choreography. The precise arrangement of lessons, loves, and losses designed to awaken you. What appears as illness, heartbreak, or delay often carries the fingerprint of that deeper plan. Your soul is not random in its design. It is an artist of evolution. Each experience you call challenge is a brushstroke on the canvas of awakening. The universe does not test you. It teaches you through resonance. Energy meets energy until it remembers itself. Every moment of pain, every collision of circumstance, is the soul adjusting its vibration back to harmony. In the temples of the ancients, initiates were taught to read this map. They called it the Book of Life, inscribed not on parchment, but within the etheric field surrounding each human. Modern mystics might call it the Akashic Record. Scientists glimpse its echo in epigenetics. The memory imprinted in our genes, shaped by emotion, environment, and belief. Nothing in you is arbitrary. Even your scars are signatures of transformation. Close your eyes and imagine that your soul's blueprint is a scroll unfurling in light before you. Some lines glow softly with love remembered. Others pulse with patterns still in progress. The darker spaces are not errors. They are places where light has yet to be integrated. To reject them is to deny part of your own design. To embrace them is to turn suffering into teacher. When symptoms arise, they may not be obstacles. They may be invitations, reminders of contracts your soul signed before entering this world. You agreed to learn forgiveness, patience, self-worth, compassion. The body becomes the parchment where these lessons are written. When ignored, the ink bleeds through as pain. When acknowledged, it transforms into wisdom. The blueprint does not demand perfection. It asks participation. Free will is the artist's tool by which destiny evolves. You can choose to resist your design, and the lesson will return louder. Or you can lean into it with awareness and grace. Healing happens not when the contract disappears, but when its purpose is fulfilled. Then the page turns, and new strength emerges. Say softly, I honor the design of my soul. Let the phrase drop like a stone into still water. Feel the ripples through your chest. This acknowledgement loosens the tension of resistance, the need to fight, to fix, to control. Acceptance is not surrender to suffering. It is alignment with meaning. When you stop cursing the blueprint, you begin to read it. Modern science hints at what mystics always knew. Consciousness influences gene expression. Belief, emotion, even gratitude can activate dormant potential within your DNA. In truth, the blueprint is not static. It evolves with your awareness. Each act of love edits the script. Each forgiveness redraws the map. Destiny bends to the vibration of your courage. Look at your life gently. Notice the recurring themes, the patterns that echo through time, relationships that mirror the same wound, challenges that return in new disguises. These are not cycles of failure. They are spirals of evolution, guiding you toward remembrance. You are not being punished. You are being refined. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper again, I honor the design of my soul. Feel the pulse beneath your palm. Steady, ancient, alive. That rhythm is older than your body. It is the signature of your eternal self, beating through flesh like light through glass. The body is not your prison. It is your parchment. Every heartbeat writes another line of your cosmic story. Nothing in your life is wasted. The losses carved empathy. The delays taught trust. The illnesses revealed where fear still lived. Each served its role, each a sentence in the language of awakening. When you see through this lens, suffering stops being enemy and becomes initiation. The soul expands and the body follows. You are not broken. You are unfolding. You are not a mistake in progress. You are perfection, remembering itself through contrast. The blueprint of your life is not a cage. It is a key. And when you choose to see it with the eyes of love, every locked door in your being swings wide open. Chapter 5. Silence as a cure. There is a sound beneath all sounds, a still hum that holds the universe together. You can hear it only when you stop running from silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is medicine. It is the womb of creation, the field from which every word, every heartbeat, every miracle arises. Yet in the modern world, we treat quiet as void and noise as proof of life. We fill every gap with sound, scrolling, speaking, thinking, terrified of what might be heard if we stopped. But silence does not punish, it repairs. Within it, the mind unravels its knots, and the body exhales centuries of tension. The ancients worshipped silence as the original healer. Monks retreated to caves, not to escape the world, but to re-enter its true frequency. Shamans fasted and listened to wind, because they knew that stillness restores alignment faster than any chant or herb. In the hush between breaths, they could feel the pulse of the cosmos mirror their own. They called it the voice of God, though it was never a voice. It was vibration without language, presence without sound. Modern science has begun to translate what mystics knew. When you sit in silence, brain waves slow into alpha and theta patterns, the same rhythms that repair the nervous system and stimulate cellular regeneration. The heart rate steadies, cortisol falls, immune cells multiply. Silence is not passive. It is biological intelligence in motion. It organizes chaos back into coherence. Try this now. Sit where you are. Let every sound fall away. Don't seek to stop your thoughts. Simply notice them passing like clouds across an infinite sky. Beneath them, there is stillness, a background that never changes. That background is you. The moment you rest in it, you are no longer fragmented. You are field again, whole and luminous. The world trains you to equate action with worth, but silence teaches the opposite. Healing happens when you stop interfering with it. The body already knows what to do. Wounds close, hearts mend, cells renew, all without your command. Stillness allows the natural intelligence of life to take the lead. The less you force, the more flow returns. The nervous system is like water. Disturb it with fear, and it ripples endlessly. Let it settle in silence, and clarity appears. This is why monks seem radiant, though they possess nothing. They live near the still source where energy renews itself. You have that same access, but you must choose to pause. Consider the space between notes in music. Without silence, there would be no melody, only noise. In the same way, your life needs pauses to stay in tune. Silence gives shape to sound, meaning to movement, peace to purpose. Every sacred tradition kept this truth. Before prayer, silence. After revelation, silence. Between inhale and exhale, silence. Because in that quiet, the soul hears what words cannot convey. You can practice this healing each night. Before sleep, turn off every device, dim every light. Sit or lie still. Place your hand on your chest and listen. At first you will hear your heartbeat, then the slow rhythm of your breath, and eventually, if you stay, something deeper. The hum of existence inside you. Do not name it. Just rest there. The body interprets silence as safety, and safety is the soil where the immune system awakens. Say softly, I welcome silence into my body and soul. Let the words drift into the quiet. Feel how your chest expands, as if space itself enters. That expansion is healing. The energy field widening, making room for life to move freely again. Silence is not withdrawal. It is reunion. It is the remembering that everything you seek, guidance, clarity, peace, is already speaking in whispers beneath the noise. You do not need to chase answers. You need only to become still enough to hear them. In stillness, your thoughts dissolve into awareness. Awareness expands into light. Light flows into every cell. You become the medicine. The cure was never in sound, but in the pause that holds it. When the world grows loud again, return here, to the quiet that does not leave, to the presence that never breaks. In that sacred hush, you are already whole. Chapter 6. The Healing Power of Belief. Belief is not imagination, it is architecture. It builds the invisible structures that reality follows. Every conviction you hold becomes instruction to your biology, your energy, and the world around you. Your body listens to your beliefs more closely than it listens to medicine. A single thought repeated with certainty can either open or close the gates of healing. Modern science has already witnessed this truth in the quiet miracle of the placebo. Sugar pills heal wounds, ease pain, and mend organs, not because of chemistry, but because of conviction. The body responds to expectation. If you believe something will restore you, your cells behave accordingly. The mind writes the prescription, the body fills it. This is not superstition, it is measurable physiology. But belief also cuts both ways. Fear creates its own chemical shadow. The nocebo, the opposite of the placebo, proves that despair can injure as surely as hope can heal. When you expect decline, the nervous system tenses, blood vessels constrict, immunity falters, energy contracts, and the field that once shimmered with light becomes dense, stagnant, dim. Every belief emits a frequency. Some invite life, others repel it. This is why ancient healers never began treatment with herbs or chants. They began with belief. They told the patient stories of recovery until the body remembered possibility. They infused water with prayer, knowing intention changed its molecular shape. They spoke over the sick not merely to comfort, but to command the field to realign with life. To them, belief was not symbolic. It was sacred law. Pause for a moment and consider your own hidden agreements. What do you quietly believe about your health, your future, your worth? Do you believe healing is possible for others, but not for you? Do you believe suffering is deserved, or that restoration must take years? These silent convictions are the programs your body runs each day. They are the software of your soul's biology. Try this practice now. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and whisper, "I am designed for restoration." Feel the phrase vibrate through your ribs, down your spine, into your cells. Each repetition sends a new code into your subconscious, rewriting the narrative of limitation. The body does not argue. It obeys the dominant frequency. Every thought you repeat becomes chemistry. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to rewire itself according to repeated thought. Spiritual science calls it energetic reprogramming. Both speak of the same power. Belief shapes form. The more you hold a belief, the more your neurons fire in its rhythm, the more your energy field vibrates in its tone, until the universe echoes it back through circumstance and healing. Belief does not mean blind denial of difficulty. It is not pretending pain doesn't exist. It is choosing to see beyond it. It is the bridge between what is visible and what is possible. The one who believes holds open the channel through which the impossible becomes inevitable. Belief does not force outcomes. It aligns them. You have witnessed this in small ways. Wounds that heal faster when you trust recovery. Fatigue that eases when you stop fearing it. Days that brighten after a single hopeful thought. These are not coincidences. They are the natural response of energy to faith. Faith is not religion. It is resonance. It is the vibration of certainty that bends probability toward healing. So choose your beliefs with intention. Speak them as you would cast light into dark water. Say softly, "My body knows how to heal. My mind remembers peace. My soul is already whole." Repeat until the words stop sounding like effort and start feeling like truth. Your body will recognize the tone long before your mind fully accepts it. It will begin adjusting, recalibrating, reorganizing. The chemistry will shift. The field will expand. The energy once trapped in doubt will start to move again, and movement is the signature of life. Remember this. Belief is the first medicine, and also the last. When all remedies fail, belief remains. When all logic ends, belief still whispers, "Try once more." Do not wait for proof to believe. Believe, and proof will follow. For belief is not a mirror of reality. It is the blueprint from which reality is drawn. Chapter 7. Emotions as Medicine. Emotion is energy in motion. It is the language your soul uses to communicate with your body. Every feeling, joy, grief, anger, love, is a frequency, and each frequency has a biological echo. The truth that ancient healers whispered and modern science now confirms is simple. You do not just feel emotions, you become them. Joy floods your system with dopamine and endorphins, expanding blood vessels, improving immunity, and energizing every cell. Gratitude synchronizes heart and brain rhythms, raising your entire electromagnetic field into coherence. But resentment, guilt, and shame contract that same field, choking the body's natural flow of light. Energy either circulates or stagnates, according to emotion. The difference between vitality and exhaustion often begins not in what you eat, but in what you feel. Your emotions are not enemies. They are messengers. Yet most of us have been trained to suppress or disguise them, to label some as good and others as bad. We celebrate happiness but exile sadness, not realizing that both are part of the same healing river. What you resist stays. What you allow transforms. Emotion unexpressed does not disappear. It stores itself in tissue, waiting for acknowledgement. Over time, that storage becomes tension, then fatigue, then illness. The body is an honest historian. It records every unspoken grief, every moment of rage you swallowed, every time you smiled when you wanted to scream. It does not judge, but it remembers, and it waits for you to listen. Try this now. Close your eyes and recall one emotion that lingers in your body. Don't analyze it. Feel it. Where does it live? In the chest? The gut? The throat? Place your hand there. Breathe into that space. Don't demand it leave. Whisper gently, "I see you." It's safe to move now. You may feel warmth, trembling, or tears rising. This is energy completing its cycle. This is emotion becoming motion again. The ancient Taoists taught that every organ resonates with an emotion. The liver holds anger. The lungs carry grief. The stomach stores worry. The heart transforms joy into love. They healed not by suppressing feeling, but by balancing it. Anger, when purified, becomes clarity and courage. Grief, when expressed, becomes compassion. Fear, when faced, becomes intuition. Every shadow emotion holds the seed of its opposite. In modern language, this is vibrational transmutation, the shifting of energy from one frequency to another. Emotion is the raw material of that transformation. You do not have to reject your sadness to find peace. You have to feel it fully until it reveals its hidden message. Every emotion, when honored, becomes medicine. Begin practicing emotional alchemy each day. Name what you feel. The act of naming shifts emotion from chaos to clarity. Locate it in the body. Where you feel it is where energy is requesting movement. Breathe through it. Breath bridges the emotional and physical realms, carrying stagnation out with every exhale. Release through sound or movement. Cry, hum, stretch, dance. Let the emotion complete the circuit. End with gratitude. Thank the feeling for its message. Gratitude seals the field in coherence. Say aloud, "I allow this to move through me." Notice how those words feel like a soft unlocking inside the chest. You have just shifted from suppression to flow. The nervous system interprets permission as safety. Safety dissolves resistance. Resistance is what illness feeds on. Remember, the heart is not just an organ. It is a transducer of frequency. When you let emotion move through it, even pain becomes light. Love is not an emotion among others. It is the equilibrium of them all. When every feeling passes freely through your being, what remains is love, the base frequency of life itself. Let yourself feel. Let yourself weep when needed, laugh without reason, forgive without condition. Emotion is not weakness. It is wisdom in movement. It is how the soul breathes. Each time you let emotion flow, you cleanse your inner field. Each time you honor a feeling, your body thanks you in chemistry. Your energy thanks you in radiance. Emotion is not the obstacle to healing. It is the healing. Chapter 8. Healing the Past. The past does not live behind you. It lives within you. Every memory, every wound, every word you never said, still breathes somewhere in the landscape of your body. You may have changed cities, names, even faces. Yet the vibration of old pain travels silently beneath the surface, shaping your reactions, your fears, your choices. Healing the past is not erasing memory. It is releasing the energy trapped inside it. Trauma is not what happened to you. It is what remains inside when you had no safe place to feel. The body kept it, stored it, protected it like a sealed letter waiting to be opened when you were ready. That readiness is not about strength. It is about safety. When the nervous system finally believes it is safe enough to remember, the past rises, not to punish, but to be liberated. Your cells are storytellers. Every scar is a sentence. Every shiver, a word. The skin remembers every touch. The heart remembers every departure. Yet memory itself is neutral. It is the emotion attached to memory that distorts the field. When emotion is repressed, the signal loops endlessly, replaying through the subconscious until consciousness meets it with love. Only love completes the story. Science now echoes what mystics always knew. Trauma leaves biochemical fingerprints. Stress hormones, once activated, alter DNA expression, a process known as epigenetics. The experiences of your ancestors can still live in your blood. Fear, poverty, grief, all can echo down generations like music heard through walls. But energy that is inherited can also be rewritten. The moment you bring awareness and compassion to an old wound, you stop it from being transmitted forward. You become the point of transformation in your lineage. Close your eyes. Imagine standing at the edge of a long corridor, lined with mirrors. In each reflection stands a version of you, child, adolescent, adult, each holding an unhealed fragment of experience. Walk toward the one that calls to you most. See their eyes. They are waiting. Reach out your hand and say, "It's over now. You are safe. I'm here." Watch how their body softens, how their light brightens. This visualization is not fantasy. It is reprogramming. The subconscious understands symbols better than logic. Every time you offer love to an old version of yourself, the signal of pain dissolves. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is untethering. It is the act of cutting cords to what no longer needs to anchor you. You cannot rewrite the event, but you can rewrite the energy that event left behind. The past cannot change, but the meaning you assign to it can, and meaning is the true author of your future. Say softly, "It is safe to remember." Feel how those words ripple through your chest, as if your cells exhale. Safety opens the vault of memory. Love empties it of pain. When you stop fearing what was, the nervous system stops reliving it. The loop closes. The energy that once sustained trauma now powers transformation. Some wounds will not vanish overnight. They will reopen gently, layer by layer, asking for patience, not pity. Healing is not a straight line. It is a spiral. Each time the same memory returns, you meet it at a higher level of consciousness. What once drowned you now invites you to dive without fear, knowing that this time you can swim. You might notice echoes of your parents' pain, their silences, their unspoken grief, living subtly in you. That too is part of the ancestral field. When you heal, you do not heal alone. You heal backward and forward in time. Energy liberated in you releases generations who could not finish their work. The soul's healing is collective. Take one more breath. Whisper, "I release the past with gratitude. It shaped me, but it does not define me." The field around you softens. The air feels lighter. You may sense warmth, tingling, a sudden peace. That is energy rejoining the flow of the present. The past no longer asks to be carried. It only asks to be acknowledged. Healing the past is not an act of forgetting, but of remembering differently. It is seeing every wound as wisdom in disguise. It is realizing that the pain that once broke you was carving space for light. You cannot change what happened, but you can change what it means. And meaning is the master frequency of freedom. Chapter 9. Dreams as Prescriptions. When the world grows quiet and your eyes close, another world begins to speak. Dreams are not illusions. They are transmissions from the deeper field of consciousness, the space where your soul and body meet in symbols. While you sleep, your mind loosens its grip, the ego releases control, and the subconscious begins its ancient work of healing. Dreams are the prescriptions your higher self writes in language the rational mind cannot yet understand. Every night, your consciousness travels beyond the body to reorganize energy, to balance what the waking world has scattered. The ancients built temples for this, sanctuaries of dream where the sick would sleep beside sacred pools and wake cured by vision. They believed the gods spoke through images, that the soul could travel to the realm of causes, while the body rested in the realm of effects. Today, we call this process integration. Modern neuroscience confirms it in another vocabulary. During REM sleep, the brain rewires memories, emotional circuits reset, and stress chemicals are cleared. The psyche releases what it cannot process by day. The same event that overwhelms you at noon becomes soluble in a dream at midnight. The mind speaks in images because images bypass resistance. When logic sleeps, the truth can finally move. Have you ever woken from a dream that left you shaken, inspired, or at peace? That was not fantasy. It was your consciousness showing you what words could not. The symbols may seem strange: a locked door, a child crying, a bird taking flight. Yet each carries frequency. The door represents opportunity unopened. The child is innocence seeking protection. The bird is freedom remembered. The dream never hides meaning. It encodes it. You do not need to be a mystic to read these messages. You need only curiosity and presence. Each morning, before your thoughts race into daylight, stay still. Ask gently, what was my soul trying to tell me? Write down what you recall, even fragments. The act of writing anchors the message into the physical world. Over time, patterns will appear, recurring themes, colors, emotions. These are the map of your inner healing. Sometimes a dream repeats until its lesson is heard. Sometimes it disappears the moment you understand it. The soul is efficient. It only repeats what the mind resists. If you dream of running, perhaps you are escaping feeling. If you dream of falling, perhaps you are learning trust. If you dream of dying, perhaps part of you is being reborn. Every symbol is medicine tailored to the vibration of your journey. Try this simple ritual before sleep. Dim the lights. Place a glass of water by your bedside. Water remembers frequency. Whisper an intention. Show me what I need to heal. Breathe deeply 3 times, imagining your body dissolving into soft light. As you drift, trust that your higher self will write the night's prescription. In the morning, drink half the water slowly, symbolically absorbing what was given, and pour the rest into the earth as an offering. This simple act tells the subconscious, I received and I release. Science calls this lucid dreaming, when awareness continues into sleep, but mystics have practiced it for millennia. In lucid dreams, you become both healer and patient, shaping reality from within. When you face a nightmare without fear, the shadow dissolves, not because you fought it, but because you recognized it as part of you. Integration is healing. Separation sustains pain. Remember, every dream, pleasant or haunting, carries light. The darker the dream, the brighter the truth it conceals. Even nightmares are medicine with bitter taste. They purge what cannot live in your new frequency. Say softly before you sleep tonight, I trust my dreams to heal me. Feel how your body softens as the mind releases control. The field around you brightens, a quiet hum of guidance waiting to unfold. Dreams are the hospital of the soul. The bed is your consciousness. The doctor is your higher self. The cure is awareness. Each night, creation touches you through vision and vibration, reorganizing energy back into harmony. You are not escaping the world when you sleep. You are returning to the place where healing begins. Chapter 10. The Divine Breath. Before there was word, before there was thought, there was breath. It was the first act of creation, the invisible bridge between spirit and form. When you took your first inhale, the universe entered you. When you exhale, you return yourself to it. Breath is not merely oxygen. It is consciousness moving through matter. Every breath carries intelligence, memory, and frequency. It is the quiet dialogue between your body and the divine. You breathe over 20,000 times a day, yet how many of those breaths are conscious? Most are shallow, hurried, fractured, mirroring the way we live. We inhale fear, exhale tension, and wonder why peace feels so far away. But when breath slows, the world slows. The moment you breathe with awareness, the nervous system shifts from survival to creation. Breath is the switch that turns chaos into coherence. Ancient healers treated breath as sacred technology. The yogis called it prana, life force riding on the wind of air. The Taoists called it qi, the current that animates the cosmos. Mystics of every culture used the same element, rhythm. They inhaled light, exhaled shadow. They breathed as prayer, as medicine, as remembrance. Because they understood what modern science is only beginning to rediscover. That breath regulates every system, from heartbeat to hormones to brain waves. It is the metronome of life. Try this now. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Feel the air brush the back of your throat, slide into your lungs, expand your ribs like wings. Hold gently for 4 counts. The sacred pause between worlds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts, longer than you inhaled, as if releasing centuries of noise. Repeat 3 times. This is coherence breathing, the pattern that synchronizes heart, mind, and energy field. Do you feel the calm unfolding? That is your parasympathetic nervous system awakening. That is your body remembering safety. In that moment, you are not just breathing. You are realigning the electromagnetic signature of your existence. You are tuning yourself back to source. The breath does not only carry air, it carries frequency. Inhale love, and your cells expand. Inhale fear, and they constrict. The choice of what you breathe is not metaphor. It is measurable vibration. When you breathe with gratitude, the rhythm of your heart forms perfect geometric patterns of coherence. The field around you grows stronger, brighter, more ordered. Breath is geometry in motion. Close your eyes and imagine each inhale as golden light entering the crown of your head, spiraling through your spine, cleansing every cell. With each exhale, imagine a gray mist leaving through your feet. The residue of stress, anger, doubt. You are not forcing energy. You are reminding it where to go. The breath also mirrors the seasons of the soul. Inhale is birth. Pause is growth. Exhale is release. The next pause is rest before renewal. This cycle repeats endlessly, in lungs, in oceans, in galaxies. To breathe consciously is to participate in creation itself. You become aware of what every tree and wave already knows. To give and receive is the same act. If you ever feel disconnected, anxious, scattered, lost, return to breath. The mind can lie, the emotions can distort, but the breath never deceives. It brings you back to the now, and the now is where God hides. The next time fear rises, don't fight it. Breathe into it. Let each exhale soften its edges until it dissolves into awareness. Breath turns resistance into rhythm. Say softly, with each breath, I awaken my soul. Let the words stretch across your exhale like prayer. Feel your chest open wider, your field expand beyond skin. That expansion is the truth of who you are, boundless energy expressing itself through rhythm. The breath is proof that you are both particle and wave, both human and divine. The ancients believed the universe itself breathes. Every expansion and contraction of galaxies, every heartbeat of creation, mirrors your own chest rising and falling. When you breathe consciously, you synchronize with that cosmic pulse. You remember that separation was never real. It was just a breath held too long. Inhale peace. Exhale resistance. Inhale light. Exhale what no longer serves. The breath has been waiting for you to notice it, to use it as the sacred tool it has always been. When words fail and thoughts spiral, come back to the rhythm that built the stars. For in the beginning, the divine breathed into dust, and it became life. And with every conscious breath you take, that creation happens again. Chapter 11. The Medicine of Light. Light is not only what you see, it is what you are made of. Long before you were born, before even the atoms of your body assembled, light moved through space, carrying the instructions of creation. Every cell in you still remembers that command. Each glows faintly with photons, tiny sparks of consciousness that pulse in rhythm with the stars. Light is not a metaphor for healing. It is healing, the original medicine of the universe. When a child steps into sunlight, laughter rises without reason. When the first ray of dawn hits your face after a long night, something deep inside sighs with relief. This is not coincidence. It is the soul recognizing home. Light restores order where chaos lives. It reminds every cell of its true frequency, the memory of harmony that illness only obscures. Modern science now confirms what mystics once intuited. Photons, the smallest particles of light, act as messengers between cells, coordinating growth and repair. Sunlight triggers the production of serotonin, dopamine, and vitamin D, the biochemistry of joy. Exposure to morning light resets circadian rhythms, stabilizes mood, and strengthens immunity. What was once sacred ritual now returns as biological fact. You were designed to live in radiance. But beyond the biological lies, the spiritual. The ancients called light divine intelligence, the voice of creation made visible. To stand in sunlight was to stand in revelation. Temples were built to capture its first morning beam, altars aligned to the solstice, gold used not for vanity, but to echo the vibration of the sun. They knew that sickness was not darkness itself, but distance from light. You can experience this medicine now. Close your eyes and imagine a golden ray descending from above, entering the crown of your head. Feel it travel down your spine like warm honey, filling each vertebra with radiance. With every breath, it expands through your body, through the chest, the arms, the legs, until you are a field of light, glowing from within. This visualization is not imagination. It is energetic reordering. Your cells respond to light as if it were touch. Breathe deeply and whisper, "I open myself to the medicine of light." As you say it, picture the boundaries of your skin softening. You are no longer just body. You are frequency, luminous and alive. You are remembering the truth. Physics and faith both affirm. Light is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. When the world feels heavy, step into sunlight. Let it kiss your eyelids, your palms, your heart. Feel the warmth rearrange your field. If you cannot find the sun, light a candle. Watch how the flame moves like breath made visible. The smallest flicker can awaken the memory of the great fire inside you. The outer light only activates what the inner flame has always known. Every living thing reaches for light. The sprouting seed, the human spirit, even the cells of a healing wound. This reaching is not weakness. It is instinct. The pull toward origin. The more you align with light, the less space shadow finds in you. Shadow is not evil. It is only light unreceived. The moment you allow radiance in, darkness becomes a teacher, not a threat. Visualize your inner sun glowing behind the heart. Each time you feel fatigue or sadness, breathe into that center until it shines again. With practice, you will sense warmth spread through your chest, clarity sharpen your mind, and peace settle over you like soft illumination. This is your own phototherapy, spirit-based, infinitely renewable. Remember, you are not chasing light. You are made of it. The photons that form your body once burned inside stars. The radiance that flows through your veins is ancient sunlight wearing your name. To live in light is to live in alignment with your original frequency, the tone of creation itself. Say softly, "I am light remembering itself." Feel the truth vibrate in your bones. Every act of awareness is illumination. Every breath in gratitude is sunrise. Every choice in love is daylight, returning to the soul. Light is not just outside you. It is the medicine within you, waiting to shine through everything you do. Chapter 12. Sacred Sound and Vibration. Before there was language, there was resonance. Before there was matter, there was sound. Every planet, every atom, every cell still hums the original note of creation. The universe was sung into being, and that song never stopped. It merely changed frequencies until it became you. The voice of God, the pulse of energy, the heartbeat of stars, all are one vibration. Sound is the architecture of reality, and healing begins when you return to harmony with it. The ancients knew this truth long before instruments existed. They drummed to call down rain, chanted to mend the sick, and whispered tones into the wind to carry intention. In Egypt, priests used vowel sounds to activate the chakras. In Tibet, monks vibrated sacred syllables that could shift matter. Every ritual, every hymn, every heartbeat was part of a grand orchestra where spirit played through flesh. Modern science now affirms what they already practiced. Sound frequencies can reduce pain, regulate heart rate, and synchronize brain waves. Music therapy lowers cortisol, harmonics calm inflammation, and the body's water, 70% of your being, vibrates with every note you hear. Sound sculpts water into patterns, and you are mostly water. Each tone literally shapes your internal universe. Close your eyes. Imagine a deep, golden tone vibrating in your chest. Feel it ripple outward like circles across a lake. Your breath becomes the wind. Your blood becomes the river. Your body becomes the instrument through which the divine plays. You are not just hearing sound. You are becoming it. Try humming softly now. The vibration massages the vagus nerve, signaling safety to the body. You may feel warmth rise in your face, tingling in your scalp, calm in your belly. This is energy returning to coherence. The body is remembering its rhythm. Sound is not limited to the audible. Every emotion, thought, and word carries frequency. Words of love radiate smooth waves that strengthen the field. Words of anger create jagged patterns that weaken it. This is why sacred texts say, creation began with a word, because every word is a creative act. What you speak, you build. What you repeat, you tune. The spiritual law is simple. Vibration precedes manifestation. Change your frequency, and the outer world rearranges itself. The medicine of sound begins not outside, but within. Listen to your own tone, the pace of your thoughts, the melody of your speech. When you speak with grace, your body harmonizes. When you speak with resentment, it tightens. You are the composer of your internal symphony. A daily ritual can restore this harmony. Upon waking, sit quietly and take one deep breath. Chant or hum a single syllable, Om, Ah, or even your own name spoken slowly and lovingly. Let the sound resonate in your chest. Visualize it glowing brighter with each breath. When you finish, remain silent for a moment. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is its completion. In that stillness, vibration settles into light. You can also bring sacred sound into your environment. Play music tuned to 432 Hz or 528 Hz, the love frequency. These tones are known to balance DNA resonance and calm the nervous system. Surround yourself with natural sounds, rain, waves, wind, heartbeat, for they carry the original harmonics of Earth. The planet itself sings, and you are part of its song. Say softly, I am in tune with the symphony of life. Whisper it, as though your voice were a string being plucked by the cosmos. Feel your field expand, your breath deepen, your thoughts slow to the rhythm of truth. The more you live in tune, the less illness finds discord to feed upon. Remember, every word you speak is a vibration that travels beyond time. It enters the field, echoes in others, and eventually returns to you. Speak as if each syllable were sacred, because it is. You are not just a listener in this cosmic orchestra. You are a note. And when you resonate in love, the entire universe vibrates with you. Chapter 13. The Heart as the True Healer. The heart is not merely an organ. It is the temple of your soul. It beats not only with blood, but with intelligence. Within its rhythm lies the oldest code of creation, the one that unites body and spirit. Long before the brain could form a thought, the heart pulsed with awareness. It is the first sound you ever made in this world, and it will be the last. Between those two beats stretches the story of your life, and the heart remembers every note. Science now measures what mystics always knew. The heart generates an electromagnetic field, thousands of times stronger than the brain. That field extends several feet beyond your skin, influencing everyone and everything around you. When the heart feels peace, your field expands and harmonizes with others. When it feels fear or resentment, the field contracts and distorts. The body follows the heart's song, tuning itself to whatever emotion the heart conducts. This is why love heals faster than medicine. Love reorganizes matter. It synchronizes chaos into order, just as a tuning fork aligns a scattered vibration. When the heart opens, every system in the body responds. Hormones balance, blood pressure stabilizes, the immune system awakens. To heal, then, is to return to coherence, to let the heart lead again. Close your eyes for a moment and bring your attention to the center of your chest. You might feel warmth, or tingling, or a gentle ache. That is energy stirring, preparing to expand. Place your palm there and breathe as though through your heart. With each inhale, draw in peace. With each exhale, release tension. Now whisper softly, "I trust the wisdom of my heart." Let the words echo through the chambers of your chest, like a bell in a sacred hall. The heart is a translator between dimensions. It converts the invisible into sensation. When intuition speaks, it speaks first through the heart, not the mind. It flutters when truth is near and tightens when something is wrong. This guidance is subtle, yet precise. The more you listen, the louder it becomes. You do not need to chase signs from the universe. Your heart is already one. Think of moments when your chest swelled with compassion, or when forgiveness felt like warmth rising inside you. That was not sentiment. That was alignment. Love is not an emotion. It is an energy frequency, measurable, transferable, infinite. When you hold love sincerely, even for a moment, your vibration entrains others into coherence. One open heart can calm an entire room. One moment of genuine gratitude can shift the atmosphere of a home. There is a science to this magic. Studies in heart coherence show that when you focus on love, appreciation, or compassion, the electrical rhythm of your heartbeat forms elegant, repeating waves, perfect geometry of harmony. In those moments, your body becomes an antenna for peace. Your brain synchronizes with your heart, and your energy field radiates a stable tone that others unconsciously feel as safety. This is why presence heals. When someone suffering feels your calm, they borrow your coherence. When you hug someone with genuine care, oxytocin floods both of your systems, and pain begins to dissolve. Healing is not something you do. It is something you transmit through being. The heart also holds memory, not only of joy, but of pain. When it closes, it does so to protect. But walls that keep out pain also keep out light. To open again is an act of courage, the purest form of faith. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks it. Each time you forgive yourself, another, even life itself, you restore the natural rhythm that trauma interrupted. Say gently, "My heart is safe to open." Feel the words melt through resistance. Imagine light blooming in your chest, like dawn rising from within. This is the true medicine. The heart does not need to be taught how to heal. It only needs permission. Every saint, every mystic, every healer has drawn from the same source, the infinite reservoir of compassion within the heart. Their miracles were not performances of power. They were demonstrations of coherence. Their touch carried love so pure that it rearranged the molecular structure of suffering. And that capacity lives in you too. When you align with love, you become a transmitter of wholeness. When you live from fear, the signal weakens. Each day, you are given the choice to constrict or to open, to protect or to radiate, to survive or to heal. The heart will always choose expansion, for it knows what the mind forgets, that the universe itself beats to the same rhythm. Every star, every pulse of life, echoes one sound: love. It is the heartbeat of creation, and it lives within you. Breathe once more through your chest and whisper, "I lead with love. I heal through love. I am love." Let your body absorb it until the boundary between healer and healed disappears. For when the heart is open, nothing is separate. And in that oneness, all wounds begin to mend. Chapter 14. Nutrition for the Soul. Every act of eating is a conversation with the universe. What you place inside your body becomes part of your vibration, shaping not only your health, but your frequency. Food is sunlight translated into form, the memory of stars condensed into color, taste, and life. Each bite carries the story of the earth, water, wind, soil, and flame. When you eat unconsciously, you break that sacred dialogue. But when you eat with awareness, the act becomes prayer. Ancient cultures never separated nourishment from spirituality. Before every meal, they gave thanks, not out of ritual alone, but because gratitude elevated the vibration of the food itself. Modern experiments have shown this truth in visible form. When words of love are spoken over water, its molecules form perfect crystalline patterns. When anger or neglect is expressed, the patterns collapse into chaos. The same applies to the food you eat and to the thoughts you think while eating it. Consider this. Your body does not only digest matter, it digests emotion, sound, and energy. If you eat while anxious, you absorb tension. If you eat while grateful, you absorb peace. The digestive fire burns not just calories, but vibrations. This is why monks eat in silence, to hear the language of nourishment. They know that every grain of rice carries the sun's code, every drop of water hums with memory, and that reverence itself becomes flavor. Try this simple ritual. Before your next meal, pause. Place your hands over your plate or bowl, close your eyes, and whisper softly, "Thank you for the life that became my life." Visualize golden light enveloping the food, awakening its essence. When you eat, chew slowly. Feel each texture dissolve as if releasing a message. Taste fully, breathe fully, be present. This is not about diet. It is about devotion. Nutrition is not limited to what you place in your mouth. What you watch, listen to, read, and repeat, all are forms of food for the soul. A negative conversation can drain you faster than an empty stomach. A moment of beauty can feed you more deeply than a feast. Ask yourself often, what am I consuming right now? Peace or poison? Awareness turns every choice into medicine. In spiritual science, food is seen as vibration, crystallized into color. Red grounds you. It anchors energy in the body. Green restores balance and harmony. Yellow stimulates confidence and clarity. Blue calms and connects you to intuition. When you eat with this awareness, you are not merely consuming nutrients, you are integrating light. Each meal becomes a tuning of frequency. Your ancestors understood this instinctively. They planted, harvested, and cooked in rhythm with the moon. They blessed their meals not out of superstition, but to align the body with the cycles of the cosmos. They believed that every flavor was a teacher. Sweetness reminded the soul of joy. Bitterness built resilience. Salt preserved wisdom. Sourness awakened curiosity. Food was never just survival. It was a ceremony of remembrance. Today, this connection has dimmed beneath the noise of speed. Fast food, fast scrolling, fast lives, and yet, emptiness grows. You can return to wholeness simply by slowing down. Let eating become a meditation. Taste as if the universe were revealing itself one flavor at a time. You will discover that the simplest meal, when eaten with reverence, nourishes more than the richest banquet consumed in distraction. Energy follows intention. When you bless your food, you reprogram it with coherence. When you eat in gratitude, you raise your vibration. When you savor each bite, you remind your body it is loved. Healing does not only come from what you take, it comes from how you take it. And remember, nourishment is circular. What you consume, you radiate. What you radiate, you attract. When you eat in love, you emit that frequency back into the world, and the world responds in kind. In this way, eating becomes creation itself, the eternal exchange between giver and receiver. So tonight, when you lift your spoon or your cup, do not rush. Look at what is before you and whisper with quiet awe, "This is the universe feeding itself through me." Feel how even that single realization transforms hunger into holiness. You will notice something subtle shift. Food tasting brighter, breath slower, gratitude deeper. That is your soul being fed, not just your stomach. Chapter 15. The Power of Forgiveness. Forgiveness is the medicine that dissolves poison the mind has carried for years. It is not an emotion, nor an excuse. It is alchemy. It transforms pain into wisdom, bondage into freedom, and bitterness into light. The moment you forgive, your body exhales a weight it has held far too long. The nervous system relaxes, the heart opens, the cells rejoice. Forgiveness is the frequency of release, the vibration through which the soul remembers peace. We often imagine forgiveness as weakness, a surrender of justice, a letting go of control. But the truth is the opposite. Forgiveness is the reclaiming of power. When you hold resentment, you chain yourself to the energy of what wounded you. You replay the pain, feeding it energy each time you recall it. Your mind becomes the courtroom where the same trial never ends, and your body becomes the prisoner of its verdict. The immune system weakens, the heart constricts, the spirit dulls. The ancient teachers warned, anger is fire. It burns the vessel that holds it first. To forgive is to pour water on that flame, not to forget the lesson, but to end the burning. It does not erase history. It rewrites the way history lives within you. The past no longer owns your present, and healing begins to flow like cool rain over scorched ground. Forgiveness is not always instant. It is a practice, a quiet unfolding. It begins with willingness, a whisper, "I am ready to release." Then comes courage, to face the wound honestly, to feel its depth without drowning. And finally, grace, the realization that forgiveness is not approval of what happened, but liberation from it. Close your eyes for a moment. Bring to mind someone whose memory still stirs pain. Notice what happens in your body, a tightening in the chest, a heaviness in the gut, a quickening of the pulse. Now, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I release you," not because you deserve it, but because I deserve freedom. Feel the words ripple through you like a key turning in a long-locked door. Forgiveness is a vibration that the body recognizes before the mind agrees. You may feel warmth rising, tears surfacing, or silence deepening. That is the old energy leaving. Do not rush it. Do not analyze it. Let it go in its own time. You are not performing forgiveness. You are remembering your natural state, a state unburdened by chains of judgment. The mystics taught that resentment blocks the flow of life force. They said the moment you forgive, light floods back into the body's field. This is why miracles often follow forgiveness, illnesses easing, relationships healing, new opportunities appearing. It is not coincidence, it is coherence. The heart freed from heaviness becomes magnetic again. Forgiving yourself is the final and deepest act. Many carry guilt heavier than any external wound. We replay every mistake, every regret, punishing ourselves for not knowing better. But self-forgiveness is not indulgence. It is intelligence. The soul cannot evolve in shame. Place your hand again over your heart and whisper, "I forgive myself for the times I abandoned my own light." Say it until your breath slows and your shoulders soften. Remember, every being who has ever lived has walked through imperfection to reach awareness. Even the sun burns through clouds before it shines. You are no different. Your mistakes were classrooms. Your regrets were teachers. The only failure is refusing to learn their lessons. The vibration of forgiveness ripples beyond you. When you forgive, you heal not only your story, but the collective field of humanity. Your act of release becomes medicine that others can feel without knowing why. Generations of anger dissolve through your decision to end the cycle. Forgiveness is not a private act. It is cosmic restoration. Breathe deeply now. Imagine a river of light flowing through your spine, washing away every old story that no longer serves. See the water carrying it downstream until it disappears into the ocean of peace. You do not need to chase it, only to trust it. Whisper softly, I forgive. I release. I am free. Let each repetition lighten your body, like dust leaving air after a long storm. When the final echo fades, notice the stillness left behind. Wide, clear, limitless. That stillness is your true nature, unveiled by mercy. Forgiveness is not something you do once. It is a way of being, a continuous returning to love. The mind argues, the ego resists, but the soul already knows. There is no healing without forgiveness. And the moment you forgive, truly, deeply, the universe exhales with you and whispers, Welcome home. Chapter 16. Reconnecting with Nature. Nature is not outside you. It is the larger body you live within. The same minerals that form your bones are the dust of mountains. The iron in your blood once burned inside stars. The rhythm of your heartbeat echoes the tide of the ocean. When you walk through forests, stand in rain, or breathe wind from the sea, you are not visiting nature. You are remembering yourself. The illness of modern life is disconnection. We have built walls between ourselves and the living earth, forgetting that healing requires reunion. Our ancestors knew this without words. They placed their feet on bare ground to draw strength from the soil. They rose and slept with the sun. They burned herbs to cleanse energy, bathed in rivers to reset the spirit, listened to birds to forecast weather and emotion alike. For them, nature was not scenery. It was symphony, teacher, mirror, and medicine. Science has begun to rediscover what they lived by instinct. When your skin touches earth, electrons flow into your body, neutralizing inflammation and stress hormones. This is grounding, the planet's electromagnetic current recalibrating yours. The scent of soil releases microbes that elevate mood and strengthen immunity. Even gazing at trees for a few minutes lowers blood pressure and increases serotonin. Nature regulates not just the body, but the soul. You may not always find a mountain or forest, but you can always return to the elements. Each element holds a key to restoration. Earth grounds you. Sit, stand, or lie on it. Let your spine meet soil, your hands press against stone. Feel stability rise through your bones. Water cleanses you. Submerge, shower, or even cup it in your palms. Ask it to carry away what no longer serves. Air awakens you. Step outside, breathe deep. Let wind touch your skin. Each gust whispers, you are alive. Fire transforms you. Watch a candle or sunrise. Feel warmth against your heart. Fire reminds you that change is the nature of life. Nature does not hurry, and yet everything gets done. It heals through rhythm, not rush. When you align with those rhythms, The nervous system begins to harmonize. You stop forcing, start flowing. Healing becomes the same effortless process by which flowers bloom and rivers curve. Try this. Go outside barefoot, even for 2 minutes. Feel the cool ground beneath you. Breathe until you sense your heart slowing to match the pulse beneath your feet. If you listen carefully, you will hear it. The quiet heartbeat of the earth, steady and ancient. That sound is the mother frequency of all healing. You are not separate from the forest, the sky, or the sea. You are their consciousness folded into form. The wind that touches your face once moved through leaves, once cooled another soul, once circled the globe. Life is not a collection of parts. It is a circulation of energy, a single breath shared across time. When you forget, go outside. Let sunlight trace your face. Let rain baptize your hair. Let the horizon widen your mind until you remember how vast you truly are. Say softly, I belong to the earth, and the earth belongs to me. Feel how your chest relaxes as those words settle. That belonging is your immunity, your grounding, your truth. Healing is not always found in formulas or theories. Sometimes it is as simple as a morning walk, a handful of soil, a whisper of wind. When you touch nature, nature touches back. When you breathe with it, it breathes with you. And when you love it, it remembers your name. One day, you will realize that the earth has been waiting, patiently, for your return. Not to worship her, but to remember that she and you are one organism, dreaming itself alive in different shapes. When that remembrance settles into your bones, you will walk lighter, speak softer, and feel the pulse of every living thing as your own. The forest will no longer be a place. It will be your heartbeat. The ocean will no longer be vast. It will be your breath. And healing will no longer be something you seek. It will be the ground beneath your feet, welcoming you home. Chapter 17. Living in Alignment. Healing is not a destination you reach. It is a rhythm you remember. To live in alignment is to let every part of your being, thought, word, breath, action, move to the same inner pulse. When you are aligned, energy flows without resistance, and life responds with effortless synchronicity. Doors open, ideas arrive, people appear at the perfect time. Alignment is not luck. It is resonance between your inner truth and the universe's design. You can feel when you are aligned. Your body feels light. Decisions feel clear. Time feels fluid. You are no longer pushing against reality. You are moving with it. But the moment you betray what you know in your heart, even in small ways, the flow stutters. The body tightens, fatigue creeps in, and the world begins to mirror your misalignment through friction. Misalignment is not punishment. It is feedback, the soul's way of saying, come back home. Ancient teachings called this Dharma, the sacred path of natural order. Every being, from star to seed, has a pattern it must follow to thrive. The tree does not envy the river. The river does not rush to be the sky. Each fulfills its purpose through obedience to its own nature. You too have a pattern, a vibration unique to your soul. When you act in harmony with it, you radiate peace. When you resist it, you create pain. So how do you return to alignment? Begin with honesty. Ask yourself quietly, what feels right in my body, but wrong in my schedule? Where do I say yes out of fear and no out of truth? Your body will answer faster than your mind. Tightness means resistance. Warmth means truth. The body never lies. It only signals. Next, simplify. Alignment thrives in clarity, not clutter. Every unnecessary commitment, every toxic habit, every false obligation creates static in your frequency. Release them gently. Make space for coherence. When you remove what is false, what is real naturally rises to the surface. Then, listen. The aligned life is guided, not forced. You will feel gentle pulls to rest, to move, to call someone, to change direction. These are not coincidences. They are synchronicities, the universe speaking in rhythm with your intuition. Trust them. The more you follow small signals, the louder guidance becomes. This is co-creation. You move, the universe echoes. Alignment also means consistency between belief and behavior. If you speak of peace but live in hurry, you fracture the signal. If you believe in abundance but act in scarcity, you dilute the vibration. Healing happens when word and action become one tone. Live as though your faith were already proven. Speak as though your cells were listening. Because they are. Try this practice. Each morning, before opening your phone or stepping into the noise of the world, sit quietly with one hand on your heart and whisper, "Show me how to move in alignment today." Then notice what arises: a color, a word, a sensation, a small urge. Follow it without debate. The body is a compass, the soul, the magnet. Living in alignment does not mean perfection. It means awareness, the willingness to adjust as soon as you drift. Even the planets wobble in their orbit, yet always find their way back. So will you. Each time you realign, your energy field strengthens, your intuition sharpens, and life responds with grace. Remember, alignment is not a state you hold. It is a relationship you tend. It grows in honesty, breathes in gratitude, and moves in trust. When you are aligned, healing is no longer something you must chase. It becomes the side effect of being yourself. Say softly, "I choose alignment over effort." Feel how your body eases as you speak it. That ease is the proof of truth. When you live in alignment, you stop fighting life. You dance with it. You stop trying to manifest and simply allow. You stop seeking healing because you are healing. Moment by moment, breath by breath. The universe was never against you. It was simply waiting for you to move in tune. Chapter 18. The Art of Surrender. There comes a moment in every healing journey when effort must give way to trust. You have learned to listen, to breathe, to release, to realign. But now you are asked to do the hardest thing of all. Stop trying. True healing cannot be forced into being. It unfolds when you let go of control. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving in to the intelligence that already knows the way. You were never meant to carry the entire plan in your hands. The river does not strategize its course. It simply follows gravity. The flower does not calculate when to bloom. It opens when light arrives. You too are guided by forces far greater than logic: intuition, rhythm, grace. When you stop resisting, those forces move through you like wind through branches, arranging every cell and circumstance into order. The ego believes surrender is loss. It says, "If I stop controlling, I will fall apart." But the truth is the opposite. Control is what fragments you. Surrender is what unifies you. The moment you loosen your grip, you discover the current beneath the chaos, the quiet flow that has been carrying you all along. Close your eyes now. Take one long breath in. On the exhale, whisper, "I release the need to know." Feel your shoulders drop. That single sentence is a bridge. From mind to trust, from tension to flow. Surrender does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop forcing. It is the difference between rowing frantically upstream and letting the current guide you home. In this state, action still happens, but it arises from peace, not pressure. You move, but you are moved. You speak, but the words come through you. This is alignment at its highest octave, effortless doing. The ancient mystics called it wu-wei, action through non-action. They knew that life's intelligence is infinitely wiser than the mind's plans. When you align with that intelligence, doors open without knocking, timing synchronizes without effort, and healing accelerates in ways reason could never design. Say softly, "I surrender to the rhythm that made me." Let the words settle in your chest. Feel how the body sighs in recognition. This is not passivity. It is partnership with creation. It is the trust that the same energy that spins planets can surely restore your life. Surrender is the final medicine because it restores the natural order. You stop commanding the universe and start conversing with it. You stop begging for outcomes and start listening for instruction. In that still space, miracles become ordinary because nothing resists them anymore. The storm was never against you. It was only the wind trying to teach you how to bend. Now that you've learned, you can rest. The current will carry you exactly where you were always meant to go. Chapter 19. Service as the second heartbeat. When you heal, life invites you to share that light, not out of duty, but because energy that is whole naturally overflows. True healing always expands, from self to others, from body to planet, from heart to cosmos. The river that hoards its water becomes stagnant. The one that flows nourishes every shore. Your purpose is not something you invent. It is what remains when you stop being afraid to give. Each act of kindness is a frequency, rippling through fields you may never see. Every word of compassion travels farther than sound. The healed self becomes a transmitter of peace. The universe operates on reciprocity. What you send returns magnified. If you wish to remain vibrant, become a channel, not a container. Energy must circulate to stay alive. Serve through what you love. A gesture, a creation, a silent prayer. It does not need to be grand. The smallest act done in sincerity vibrates through the entire field. The ancients called this seva, sacred service. They believed that when you serve from love, karma dissolves and the heart expands beyond measure. The one who helps another actually heals themselves twice. Look at your life gently. Where does your gift meet the world's need? That is where your soul is asking to be poured. You may teach, comfort, create, or simply listen. Each is holy when done with open heart. Say softly, "Let my healing become a light for others." You don't need to plan how. The universe arranges the opportunities. Your vibration will attract those ready for what you carry. Each encounter becomes a quiet exchange of frequencies, a remembering that none of us heal alone. Service is not sacrifice. It is circulation. You give not to lose energy, but to multiply it. Love given multiplies. Wisdom shared strengthens. When you extend your wholeness, you anchor it deeper within yourself. As you serve, remember balance. A flame that burns for others but forgets its source will dim. Return often to stillness, to breath, to silence. Fill your own cup, then let it overflow. That overflow, effortless, radiant, unforced, is true giving. And one day, without announcement, you will realize that your life itself has become medicine. Your presence calms rooms, your words heal without effort, your silence uplifts. This is the mark of one who has remembered their purpose, to be the heartbeat of love, moving through the world. Chapter 20. the return to wholeness. There is nothing left to seek, no mountain to climb, no wound to chase, no truth to capture, because what you were searching for was never separate. It was the silence between your breaths, the light behind your eyes, the stillness beneath every storm. Healing was never becoming someone new. It was remembering who you have always been. You are not broken, and you never were. You were simply unfolding, shedding layers of forgetting, returning to the pulse that has always guided you. The same energy that formed galaxies beats quietly in your chest right now. When you breathe, you echo creation itself. Close your eyes and imagine standing in the center of a vast field of light. There is no past here, no future, only presence. You are the breath, the sky, the soil, the flame. Everything you once tried to fix has already forgiven you. Everything you once feared has become teacher. Everything you once lost has returned in new form. This is wholeness, not perfection, but participation in the sacred rhythm of life. You will still feel joy and sorrow, expansion and contraction. But now you know they are both movements of the same dance. Light and shadow, inhale and exhale, each completing the other. Say softly, I am whole, I am home. Let the words hum through your being until they dissolve into quiet. This quiet is the answer to every question you ever asked. From here, you will still live, work, love, and dream. But you will do so from center, not from wound. You will listen more, rush less. You will forgive faster and hold lighter. You will move through the world, not to prove, but to share. The journey does not end here. It continues in every sunrise, every heartbeat, every act of kindness. Healing is not a moment. It is the way you walk through time. And as you walk, remember this. Every breath is sacred. Every step is ceremony. Every being you meet is another reflection of the same light learning to remember itself. You have come full circle. From seeking to seeing, from effort to ease, from fragmentation to oneness. The return to wholeness is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your real life. Breathe one final time with awareness. Inhale the universe, exhale gratitude, and whisper as the world exhales with you. I am healed. I am free. I am the light remembering itself. Epilogue. The quiet after the light. There will come a day, not far from now, when you will wake and realize that you no longer think about healing. Not because you've reached perfection, but because peace has become ordinary. You will drink your morning water and feel gratitude ripple through you, like sunlight through glass. You will hear the wind move through trees and know that it's the same breath moving through your lungs. You will touch the skin of someone you love and recognize it as your own. This is the quiet after the light. The moment when transformation no longer needs fireworks to be real. Healing will have woven itself into every gesture, every word, every pause between thoughts. You won't need to remember the lessons anymore, because they will have become the way you live. The storm that once terrified you will now sound like rhythm. The silence that once felt lonely will now feel sacred. The scars that once defined you will shine like inscriptions of grace. You will not be immune to pain, but you will not mistake it for punishment. You will meet it as teacher, as movement, as reminder to breathe again. You will know how to return to center, not through control, but through trust. Every inhale will remind you that life enters willingly. Every exhale will remind you that letting go is nature's design. This is balance, not fragile stillness, but living harmony, flexible and eternal. And when you meet others still walking through their own dark nights, you will not preach. You will simply listen, radiating calm, holding space, the way the sky holds stars. Your presence will speak more loudly than any word. It's possible. It's already happening. You will become evidence that light is stronger than pain, that peace is not escape, but return. One day, you will stand at the edge of the sea or beneath a quiet moon and feel the same pulse in your chest that moves the tides and turns the galaxies. You will understand, with a kind of holy simplicity, that there was never anything to fix, only something to remember. You were never just a body healing. You were consciousness awakening. You were life recognizing itself in human form. And now that you remember, you can live lightly. You can laugh easily. You can forgive quickly. You can love without caution. This is what all the teachings meant, not to escape the world, but to see it clearly, radiant, alive, complete. So breathe once more. Let your eyes soften. Let your hands rest. You have arrived, not somewhere new, but somewhere true. Welcome home, to the self that was never broken, to the heart that never stopped beating, to the light that never went out. If this audiobook gave you even one moment of clarity, share it with someone who might need the same pause. And subscribe, so next time, calm finds you first.